Hello, and welcome to the Safest eTrips mobile training videos. Today we're going to learn how to send in a report to the ACCSP. If you haven't already done so, I suggest that you watch the previous videos in these series to get caught up to where we are now. If you're ready, let's go and submit a report to the ACCSP. Before you submit a report, you must make sure that your tablet is connected to the internet. Although you don't need internet to input the report, you will need to have access to the internet to submit your report. So before we begin, just make sure that your tablet is connected to the internet. In this video, we're going to show you how to send in a report. I know that you've probably watched all the other training videos and you've gone through how to set up your favorites and how to do a trip. So for this report, I'm just going to go through a trip really quick. That way it'll give you a little bit of refresh on it, and we'll be able to send it in and go from there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on New Trip. And this is going to be a for-hire trip. I'm going to pick out my vessel and my permit. Again, based on your vessel, it'll tell you where that report's going to be sent to. Then click Trip Details. My trip detail is where I'm going to put all my information in. Again, I can change the name of my trip if I want. And I can just put in test trip. Name it anything I want. The mode, the port, the crew count, and the angler count are all what I want for this trip. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on first effort. From there, I'm going to look down this list of my effort. I'm going to look at everything. And my area fished, my waters fished, my gear type, and my gear quantity, and my lat and longs are all what I want for this trip. So that's good. So I'm just going to click on Start. Start trip. So I'm going to look at doing a trip from yesterday. So I do not want to track this trip. And just a little reminder for you guys, some of you want to put the start and end times of your trip and the start and end times of your effort as two different times. So again, if you click on configure separately, you can do that. Many of you want to make them the same. So again, if you click on make them the same and make sure that that little button is green, you can see that you'll just have the start and end time of your trip, and it'll make them the same as your start and end time of your effort. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a trip from yesterday. So I'm going to click on the start. Make it for yesterday, and I'm going to make this for 5 a.m. as my start time. Then I'm going to click on my end time. And again, I'm going to end this trip for 1 o'clock p.m. Click on Save. Okay, so I got the start and end time of my trip. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Go Fish button, and I'm going to put in the fish that I caught on my trip yesterday. So for this trip yesterday, I'm not going to put in any measurements just to make it quicker. I'm just going to put in my quantity and my disposition. So I had 6 bluefish, and I released those live. I then had some scup, so I click on the scup button. Had 4 scup. I kept those for food. Click on Save. I had a striped bass, so I'm going to click on striped bass. Had one of those that I kept for food. I'm going to click on Save. I had some more striped bass that I released, so I'm going to click on striped bass. 2 of those I released alive. Then I had a bunch of black sea bass that I kept, so I'm going to click on black sea bass. 10 of those, I kept those for food. I'm going to click on Save. So there's a list of all of the fish that I caught on this trip, all categorized for me. Again, as a reminder, if I wanted to change that of any of those that I see if they was wrong, I'm going to click on the Catches button, and that's going to bring me to each of my catch. So if I say, geez, I had actually released 16 bluefish and not 6, I can change this, and I can put 16. There you go. And you'll see where that's changed. Go back to species, and again, I can add in more if I had any. But this trip is done. So now, because this is a charter boat trip off of a Rhode Island permit, we are not allowed to sell. So there's going to be no issue with selling any fish off of this trip. So I'm just going to go straight to the reports button, and I'm going to click on that. From here, you're going to see that it automatically highlights the trip that I was just in. If by chance you had multiple trips that you wanted to send all at once, you can do that also. You would just continue to click on the trips that you wanted to send in and then click Upload Trip. But for this, we're just going to send in the one. And as you can see from this screen here, there are trips that have a cloud and a lock symbol on them. Those are trips that have already been uploaded and accepted by the ACCSP, so now they're in a lock just to show you that they've already been submitted. So again, we're going to just click on Upload Trip. And then that's going to put your VTR number in along with anything about your trip. So you can scroll down. If you pinch and zoom out, you can actually make that bigger. So you can go down and look at your catch summary. From there, you're going to read the trip report certification, certifying that the vessel trip information that you're providing is true, complete, and correct to the best of your knowledge. And then click on Tap to Agree. Then you're going to click on the Submit button. As you're going to see, it's going to go through a process of logging in. So we logged in successfully. Now it's uploading your trip reports to the ACCSP. Your trips have uploaded successfully, logged out, and you're done. If you go back to the home screen, you can see that that test trip that we just did also has the lock and the cloud on it to show you that that's been submitted. So that's our training on submitting a report. I hope this training session was helpful, but let's go over for a moment what happens when a report does not submit correctly. If by chance you submit a report and it comes back with an error that you don't understand, you can always go to the Settings tab and then click the Feedback tab, and that's going to give you the email address that you can always email any questions to, mobile_support@accsp.org. And if you have further questions, you can check out our Frequently Asked Questions guide on the ACCSP website at www.accsp.org. Thanks for watching.